Homa, Nga Charlie Smith, Jong PNG, Georgia Strait. I'm the editor of the Georgia Strait, and I'm happy to be back for another week with WOW TV. And standing to my left is Craig Takeuchi, who's our lead writer on LGBT issues and has been writing about many subjects for the Georgia Strait for several years, particularly the film industry, but other topics as well. And this week, Craig is with us to talk about Pride. And one of the things that's in the news right now is what's happening to gays and lesbians in Russia. So I'm going to start by asking Craig about this because the mayor was speaking about it recently.
Yeah, so Russia has passed some anti-gay legislation, which prohibits any what they call gay propaganda. And Mayor Gregor Robertson has issued an official statement. It was released on July 26th, in which he expressed alarm and concern about these laws and how they will interact with visitors and athletes at the Sochi Winter Games in 2014. There has also been a boycott launched by columnist Dan Savage against Russian vodka to protest these laws. Several Vancouver bars which serve LGBT clientele have participated in this boycott. And also today, there's going to be a kiss-in protest at the Russian consulate in Vancouver to protest these laws as well.
And the other thing, Craig, was I noticed the mayor had made a proclamation. And can you talk about what that concerned?
So on Monday, Mayor Gregor Robertson made the official Pride Week proclamation, and the Pride flag was raised at City Hall. And this is just to announce that the city is celebrating Pride Week. And at the same time, they also unveiled Canada's first permanent rainbow crosswalks at Davie and Butte Streets. And these crosswalks help to symbolize both the history and the current presence of the gay community in the West End.
And Craig, you also, as you do every year, has kind of spearheaded our Pride coverage in the paper. And can you talk about some of the highlights?
Okay, so this year we decided to focus the spotlight on straight people who are allies to the LGBT communities. And two of them that I wrote about, Baljinder Narang and Gary Wong, they're both on the Burnaby Board of Education and both fought for the anti-homophobia policy, policy 5.45, which helps to protect students from being bullied based on sexual orientation. And when I talked to them, it was very interesting because neither of them have any connection to the LGBT communities. However, Baljinder said, and she's the chair of the Burnaby Board of Education, she said that it was her Sikh faith that taught her she can't exclude anybody when she prays for the well-being of the community. And Gary Wong said that it was his experiences of being discriminated against as a Chinese person growing up in Vancouver that helped him to empathize with the struggles that LGBT people are going through. One of our other reporters, Carlito Pablo, he wrote about Jennifer Yoon and Leah Bay, who are high school student leaders who also fought for the protection of LGBT students, and they helped to create safer environments for all students, regardless of whether they're straight or gay.
Yeah, I can remember several years ago it was kind of almost innovative and controversial when the gay-straight alliances would start in the schools, and now it's so commonplace, and it's a great thing to see. So, Craig, what else is taking place during Pride Week?
There's a lot going on this weekend. Starting with today, there's the Trans and Genderqueer March, which is both a political protest and a celebration to raise awareness about transgender issues. And then tomorrow, on Saturday, there's the Vancouver Dyke March in East Vancouver, which is just one day ahead of the official Pride Parade, which is held on Sunday, and it starts at noon, and it's followed by a festival as well. And then after all these festivities are over, there's also the Vancouver Queer Film Festival starting on August the 15th, which is another LGBT community event. And it brings in it's one of the biggest film festivals in Vancouver.
Yeah, and I'm just going to take a moment to talk about, for the trans community and genderqueer community, there's been initiatives to bring equal rights in law. And the BC NDP has been talking a lot this week about how they would like to see the BC Human Rights Code amended so that it would protect the human rights of people for gender expression and gender identity, regardless of whether they were male, female, genderqueer, trans. Federally, there's also been an initiative. Randall Garrison, an NDP MP, brought forward Bill C-279, and it managed to get through the House, which would apply the same protections to the Canadian Human Rights Code. But one of our reporters, Carlito Pablo, reported this week that there's some problems in the Senate, and the Senate is unelected. It's not elected like the House of Commons. And so Senator Mobina Jaffer, who's a Liberal, one of the BC senators, she told Carlito that one of the Conservative senators has proposed an amendment, which means this law has to go back to the House of Commons again. So it's been stalled. It was initially brought forward by Bill 6A, who is one of the actual grand marshals of the Pride Parade last year. And so Bill 6A's bill died on the order paper, and now it looks like the next attempt is also being derailed by a Conservative amendment.